kick off the dust. For real. Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy, what did we miss?
Valentine's
we missed Valentine's Day. We missed Pokemon Day. We missed Mario Day. We missed
Black History Month.
Black History Month. Yeah, if you had a birthday, happy birthday.
Welcome to 2021.
Exactly.
Even though we late to the party.
Oh gosh, really? I know. Sorry for the disappearances. Nah.
I'm almost not sorry a little bit, cause it's like, man, that 2020 year was pretty bad, and 2021 ain't looking too much better so far, but at least there's some good news out there, and there's some news we're gonna be talking about today.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's always good to be a gamer. So.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Well, I am Gamer Becca.
I'm Gamer Lynn, and we are 10 times 10.
So welcome if you are new. We've seen that we've gotten some new people on the channel, so thank you and hello. Thanks for sticking around and whatnot.
And hopefully we'll meet your expectations. And
no, you probably won't. Who knows?
You'll tell your friends.
Yeah. It's all good.
I meet my expectations so that I have fun doing this video. So I hope you guys are having fun watching it. So, yes. And yeah.
Yeah. One of the first things I know that we've kind of put on our thing to talk about was the game stuff. Game stonk.
Oh, man.
That's been a ride. Oh, my goodness. I've never been interested in the stock market up until now. Basically.
I'm still not, because it is kind of confusing, and thank goodness for DeFranco, the Matt Packs.
Yes. Breaking it down.
And basically, I had a small idea.
Yeah.
And when they, watching their videos and watching them talk about it,
yeah.
it definitely defined that I had a small idea of what these things, or what the market was.
Yeah.
But, man, never would I have saw around the corner such a big thing happen with GameStop.
Oh,
so,
dude, really?
I remember last year, or was it the year before? Was it 2019? Where Reggie signed on to be on the board?
I think it was 2019.
Was it? Yeah, I think it was 2019.
I want to say it was 2019, yeah.
So that was the last bit of hope I had for GameStop, because for me, I've been a loyal customer to GameStop for a very long time. I buy a lot of my physical copies from them. Even into sometimes we get lucky and we find little nerd things or whatever to purchase for them as well. But
I go for the shirts.
Yeah, she goes for the shirts, I go for the video games. And it's just over time, a lot of people, where it's that whole purchase, and then you beat a game, or you get tired of a game, or a game is not what you expected, you go to return it, and you get very small amount back for your purchase. Not to mention too, some employees are not the best, even though I know everybody has their off days and stuff like that or whatever, but I don't know, my overall experience for GameStop was dwindling. So, I would open up to Best Buy, Amazon, all the different other markets to just avoid that experience with GameStop. Thinking that, it's just a matter of time before either they change their ways, or, they're not there anymore. They go the ways of, your Circuit Cities and all that stuff like that. That's happened in the past. I kind of miss those. But, and I don't think this has any real influence on GameStop directly, but this GameStop market has blown up out of proportion to the point where a lot of people are making money, a lot of people are losing money. And for me, on the outside looking in, I don't know what type of influence this really has on GameStop, as far as, is it just, this is just a market game where Reddit people, the average Joe, just jumps in, tries to play the market to mix it up a little bit while making a little bit of money on the side.
So it seems like there's several things going on, and this is me not being any sort of like stock savvy or anything like that. From what I have picked up from social media, from the videos that we've watched and whatnot, there's a couple different things that are going on. So there's like the actual like stock marketness that's happening where obviously like the value of GameStop is increasing and decreasing, and obviously if it decreases too much, then like I guess it can be shut down and whatnot. I don't know how much GameStop in like the company gets from their market value being high or low or whatever, how that works, but I at least know that if their value is low, then it's bad. If it's up, then it's good. And then of course you have the Redditors, or at least what people are calling the Redditors, who are like, we're going to, stick it to the man, basically.
Yeah, because that's why I feel like it's more of a ploy of people trying to stick it to the establishment, saying, "Hey, we can play the market too."
Yeah,
this isn't just made for Wall Street. This isn't just made for these long term or these embedded investors that have rise to riches or plummeted to the ground or whatever kind of thing.
Yeah.
My standpoint is GameStop watching this? Are they affected by this? And if they are, I mean, I think at the end of the day, they're always affected.
Yeah.
Because, one, their name is out there.
Yeah.
Two, if this market exchange and rise and fall for them, does this mean anything for them? And, if it does or doesn't, do they jump on this opportunity to go, hey, we sell great games. We're a great game market, and we're worth your business. Or because I've heard in the news too, like one of the things that a lot of investors and board people for GameStop is they're trying to change their direction.
Yeah,
as far as instead of just being a place where you go to purchase games or go to purchase your action figure or your nerd thing, wherever, they open up to more PC things now.
Yeah,
They've opened up more to trying to make their establishment a community instead of just a retail store.
Right.
As far as maybe making a space where people could come and play games or come and meet up with their friends to play games.
Sure.
Kind of like what we already have established with a lot of businesses that do the whole come in and you can rent the space to play the video game that we provide for you, or even into your gaming store where it's like, come and play your card game, come and play your board game,
sure,
come and play your tabletop role-playing game.
Yeah.
And I wonder, is GameStop going to start adapting that type of business approach?
Well, I mean, I know they've already started selling, like knickknacks, figurines, and that sort of thing. So they're definitely pushing more toward that. If it starts to maybe become a venue to where like people actually like come in and play and that sort of thing, that'd be really cool.
It'd be cool, but then it'd be a very huge change for them because, like, a lot of people will know. You go to your GameStop, look at how much available space is in that.
Yeah,
in that because they always have the little. They have to get a way bigger venue to.
Like it's gonna be like a lot of like, moving stores or just like general like general sorry like kind of reconstruction of the space. Yeah. In which case...
Because it can be done. I mean, like I said before, like the Circuit Cities and...
Plus they have that deal with Xbox, right? Or not Xbox, I'm sorry, Microsoft. Don't they? Like
I think so, yeah.
Now?
Yeah. So, I mean, but do you lean on that partnership and...
I also don't really know what that means.
I don't know either. I don't know what the partnership is. I mean, I can understand from Microsoft's standpoint is... This is a venue in which we want you to sell our products. We want you to push our products, which GameStop has always been.
Sure.
So, to lose ground means that, you know, you're going to probably get hit too on your bottom line, because not so many places are selling your systems anymore. Not so many places are selling your video games. Yeah. So I see their interest in it. But then again, though, you don't see a movement from Sony. Sony is probably just either like, you know, hey, sell our games or don't sell our games. You know, regardless, we're going to sell our games. Nintendo, same way. You know, sell our games, don't sell our games. You know, we still have Walmart. We still have Best Buy. So I do like that idea that Microsoft is invested into our community, as far as if we lose ground in one area, it affects us.
Sure.
Not only them as a business, but me as a consumer who loves video games, who's a fan and part of the community. That affects me.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we've lost already basically one of my favorite places to go rent games to figure out if there was a game I liked was Blockbuster.
Yeah.
I forget Hollywood Videos.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I missed that.
Yeah. So
they had some of the coolest like old movies that you can really find anywhere.
So it's like, yeah, it's time for businesses to step in and stop these kind of places where we're losing ground.
It's
as
time
far
to
as
stop.
Yeah, it's time to stop. Time to GameStop.
No. It's great.
I'll give you that one for free. No.
Lord.
But yeah,
Yikes.
I think it's really important that businesses step in and try to help these kind of businesses and save our community, as far as getting better business practices or getting them the resources they need to be able to make those changes if necessary. If not, maybe go, hey guys, it's time to adopt a new strategy as far as business going forward, because what you've been doing in the past is not working, and even then you're kind of a laughing stock or a joke. And I really think with the market thing right now, this is a prime opportunity for GameStop to do that if they're not affected by anything else.
Sure. So then I think we'll kind of wrap up the GameStop thing with this question.
Okay.
So ideally, what would you want GameStop to be or morph into in order to kind of like see it to be like something worth investing in, you know?
I think, me personally, I think GameStop is at a point where you don't necessarily lose that whole retail aspect, because I think in the end you still have to sell something.
Sure.
I just think that you have way more opportunity as far as you're already going to be established as, hey, we sell video games, we sell video game paraphernalia. Let's open up the market more to be, hey, we are part of the community, and we want to not only sell you the games, but make it to where you can test drive the game, to where you can meet other gamers and enjoy your hobby together, or even into help us to establish a community of gamers in your selected area.
Yeah.
Because again, you get all types of gamers in all different places. You know, you got sport games, you got adventure games, and I think in certain areas of America you can go to, something might be more popular than the other one. So GameStop could definitely be a huge hub going forward for that to be
like catered to
explored, or even just to show people like, hey, there are other people here that enjoy this hobby.
Yeah. And
just when you thought, you know, maybe I wasn't into that type of game, or maybe, you know, that game wasn't my scene, with more people being around it to either teach you, to partner up with, or even then be competitive with, can really draw out a new experience for you. Okay. And I think, especially too in this day and age where almost everything's online now, and thank God for it, because otherwise, you know, with this pandemic, we'd be in trouble.
Oh my gosh, I know.
But when the pandemic starts to slow down and we start to open back up, people are going to crave that, you know, interaction again, being, you know, in front of each other instead of just through a screen or through a microphone. And we don't have enough games nowadays where there's a lot of like local play. Almost everything's online. So this is a great opportunity for LAN parties to happen.
Couch co-op, man.
Yeah, couch co-op. You know, LAN parties. It's been years since I had a LAN party. it was probably one of the best times I ever had in my life. With
So LAN, sorry, just for like a
oh,
layman's
so
term.
LAN, I
LAN.
forget what exactly the definition of it is, but basically it's kind of like a local game, basically where you use a what's that line? Ethernet cord connected to either a PC or even into with your PS4s, your Xbox, your PS5, your Xbox Series X if you've been lucky to get one.
Right.
You connect them together and it allows you to play games almost as if you're playing online, but it's just a local server.
Yeah, so basically just another way to kind of do couch co-op type thing.
Yeah. Which is basically the only way now with most games that you can really play local online or local games is by doing that. But
so ideally, I would say for me, like it would become almost like like mini Metreons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you know I mean? Missed the Metreon.
Yeah, so like a mini Metreon. So for anyone who is unaware what the Metreon was,
it was a PlayStation hub and built into a building that shared space with a movie theater,
IMAX movie theater,
arcade, different things or whatever that was around it. But basically, it was an entertainment building hub.
It's like a bunch of levels of video games, comic books. Like it was just so it was nerd heaven.
In San Francisco, so cool. Near I think Market Street or something like that. I forget all the intersecting streets. But it would be a lot of stuff that would happen at it. Like amazing. I remember when the Jet Li Rise to Honor video game came out and stuff. I think he came there actually to do like signings, and pictures and stuff like that for his new game that got released. I was at the Metreon. Kojima for I don't think it was one of his Metal Gear Solid games. My friends stood overnight in line to meet Kojima in person at the Metreon.
Legit. Oh my gosh. What you call it? One of my first memories of the Metreon was we went around. It was like before Christmas, and going into the PlayStation store because that was like the first store at the first floor and everything like that. It was so beautiful, and they had this like fun little like it kind of almost looked like a little karaoke bar where you could kind of like you had like little seating areas.
Oh yeah.
And then you had like the screens where people would either like you know play games or whatever. And so one of the games that was on display was a karaoke game. I think it was Karaoke Revolution actually. We were just trying it out just because, and like you know Dad took us and stuff like that. And then lo and behold, like because we enjoyed it so much, we end up getting it for Christmas. It was so funny. So I guess like Dad was basically just kind of like putting us like you know bringing us through. It's like okay, what do they like? What do they want? Type thing. So and then he surprised us with the karaoke game for Christmas, which is amazing by the way. And that microphone is fantastic. It's like anyways.
Things like that, small memories in which get lost in time that a lot of kids nowadays are not familiar with.
Yeah, they wouldn't have.
You know, they don't have access to. I know there's certain places in America that have that. I remember even when I was coming up, I had a friend of mine, James Huffman, I believe. He showed me a place that was like a video game heaven to me when I met it. I forgot what the place was called, but it was ran by a couple of guys. And yeah, they had the latest video games, a lot of Xboxes. I think Halo was popular at the time.
Gotcha.
And they would have a lot of LAN parties at this place. But yeah, it was a rent a space, you know. You get to play for so many hours for so how much money. Yeah. And they had all the stuff you needed from the nerdy little I don't know, like the bean bags to the low sit on the ground gamer chairs at the time.
And honestly, like I feel like the only place that I can think of that's like even remotely like that right now is the AFK Lounge.
AFK Lounge, I love that place.
So
fantastic. So great.
Shout out to you guys. We love you. We'll come back, we promise.
I can't wait until we can come back.
Cannot wait to come back. Oh my gosh, they're fantastic people. There's like food and stuff like that, like at the bottom floor. Plus all these wonderful card games and things like that. I think I put some pictures on our Instagram. Follow, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Food was yummy. Super yummy.
Man, if you have never had a chance to go.
It's great. It's fantastic. All right. Anyways.
We gotta move on to our next topic.
Alrighty. So, current state of PS5 and Xbox Series.
Okay. So we got a lot to catch up on that one, because what was it? November 11th was Xbox of last year, 2020.
Was it 10th?
Was it the 10th or 11th?
Something.
One of those two.
One of those.
And I remember that release because at the time, I think we talked about it in one of our past episodes, but also too, we were.
I think it's the only episode we did.
I think so. I think that was the last podcast.
Yeah.
So we at the time too were watching people on YouTube, which was great. Oh God, I feel so bad now. I don't have you guys' names jotted down because you guys were such good help.
Oh gosh, directing
so
traffic.
many people directed traffic.
Oh,
Let people know who was releasing what when, because almost everything got released online.
Yeah.
There was very few places in the very beginning.
Yeah.
I think Target that comes to mind. Target. I think a few Walmarts.
Yeah.
It probably depended on your area.
Yeah.
But almost everything was getting released online. And you guys did such a magnificent job directing traffic to let people know, yo, it just released or the sites just went live.
Yeah.
Get in there, get in line, refresh, do whatever you need to do because everybody's getting Xboxes and everybody's getting PS5s.
Yeah.
Because it was a couple days after Xbox released their system that PlayStation 5 went live.
Yeah.
And
it was like the 14th, like a couple days afterwards.
We used that resource to help us. Because at first we were just thinking like, we won't jump into the middle of the crowd.
Yeah, we'll just wait.
We'll just wait because, we have a backlog of PS4 games that we need to get through.
Yeah.
Not to mention, too, I still have an Xbox S that I barely turn on ever so often. And I got a catalog of Xbox games I need to get through as well. So I was like, no rush. But these guys were doing such a great job of convincing people that they made me believe personally that I had a chance. Like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get in this. Let's try it out. Let's see if we can get one.
Yeah.
And sure enough, we got one. We got a PS5. Basically, I'm going to eventually get an Xbox Series X as well too. Yeah. But my whole thing was, okay, let me check out the PS5 first, and then eventually we'll get the Xbox Series X. Man, had I no idea how lucky we were.
Yeah.
No idea.
Oh my goodness.
Between how difficult it still is to get a PS5 and an Xbox Series X, to the horror stories that we've read about that's been involved with it. Like, I would no joke, because we got ours through
the website,
the PlayStation Store directly. We didn't do even
though
I could have got
Sony website, I think.
We could have got one sooner from our local Target.
Oh, right.
We so could have.
Like a day or something sooner. Like, it's
day
not
sooner.
A big deal.
Which, again, it was a big deal. Cause,
obviously.
Spider-Man was a hot game. Spider-Man. Miles Morales, that's still a hot game, baby. So, but in the end, it didn't make too much of a difference for the wait. But at the same time, too, that wait made me so worried because I was reading so many horror stories about people who weren't getting it, people who got duped by fake websites,
and all the scammers,
and then the price hike. People paying $1,000 and above to get their hands on a PS5, which I can understand for some people that's just a drop in the bucket because you got money like that, and
for the majority, not really.
Well, I mean, for certain people, like for instance, you got a kid and you got excess amount of money that you can spend, and you have this kid who's now been stuck in the house day after day after day after day, missing friends, missing out on sports and stuff like that. Me personally, if I had money like that, I would drop $1,000 or more extra.
I'm sure
just
everyone
to see
would.
That smile on that child's face.
I'm sure everyone would if they have the money.
If they have the money, So, I'm not gonna get on this high horse to say like that's just way too much money because and again, it's in the eye of the beholder. Yeah. You do what you can do. With within your means, and you know what that is. I would actually say not some. A lot of us don't have that ability. Yeah. Yet though, we still like to enjoy nice things.
Yes.
So, and everybody's entitled to that. But man, the stories were so bad. Yeah. And we was one of the so fortunate. So big. That's why I say big shout out to those guys. We're gonna have to put something on the bottom of this video to put you guys out there because really, you guys really helped a lot of people. You helped us.
Yeah.
And from everything I saw and read, you guys deserve all the praise.
Word.
And I feel so bad for so many people out there that got duped out of money,
Yeah, I agree.
duped out of their time, or even then too are still out there
hunting. Yeah.
It's crazy. And we knew the demand was going to be high though.
Yeah.
Because again, anytime when you
but
get
we didn't think it was going to be this scarce.
They're scarce, yeah. Cause, I mean, I've seen past video game releases, not video game, but video game system releases.
Yeah.
And I know it took me like about maybe 5-6 months for when the PS4 got released. Because again, I didn't jump on that bandwagon immediately. I waited because I knew there was going to be a rush, and you know, I've done my time where I've waited in line, camping out and stuff like that to get the latest game, or you know, to get the latest big screen TV and stuff like that or whatever. And you know, over time as you get older too, it's just like, dude, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
You know, these are just things, and at the end of the day,
sure,
eventually somebody will make enough of these, and there'll be enough to go around. And even then too, when you wait, sometimes there's a better deal, you know.
Yeah. Either better deal,
a bundle deal,
like
better price,
better model, or something.
better model, yeah.
Yeah.
And with the pandemic going on, it makes it hard to replenish. And even then, too, when you replenish units to go out into the market, you know, where do they go? Who gets them? Because you're not dealing with just like certain particular states in the U.S. You're dealing with Japan. You're dealing with Europe. You're dealing with Australia. You know, you're dealing with the world. The world wants this system, and it's really tough sometimes to figure out how many goes to certain places because the demand is still so high everywhere. I think we even saw in the news lately they had a store in Japan that was boggled my mind that I think they only had so many units. Like it was like I think it was below 100.
Oh
yeah. And they had hundreds of people in the store.
Oh my gosh, people were
not following Corona protocols at all. They were backed up. I mean, they were next to each other. They were wearing masks. There was probably a few of them that weren't, but they were on top of each other to get this system, to get a PS5.
And I guess like they weren't, like the employees weren't told like
the
employees that this
they
was
were
supposed to be going.
Bad predicament.
Like,
it was bad.
Yeah.
And
I guess like the police got called too.
Yeah,
to try and
they had to
everything and
to make sure they didn't wild out.
Yeah.
Which I was like, boy, when Japan's about to wild out on you, you know, that's about to really get bad, because that's a not to say that, you know, no culture can be, you know, peaceful, but they are usually
expect that from America before Japan.
Yeah, you usually expect like, okay, they're a little bit calm, but mostly probably due to the fact that, you know, probably a lot of the units are built in Japan. Yeah. So you think they would have first dibs.
Or maybe we just don't hear about them wilding out. I
don't know. But I was watching it and I was scared for everybody involved.
Oh, I agree. 1,000%.
And even then, too, it made me worried for, like, man, what's going to happen in America? Because, you know.
Boy.
Or what has been happening in America. You know.
I mean, obviously the horror stories, so, you know.
Yeah.
So, Cyberpunk.
Darn. That's probably why you asked that question.
That's why I asked the question.
I'm like, you know, we can go another 15 minutes? Oh, Cyberpunk. Oh. Let's try to do it.
All right. Honestly, I don't think we can say anything that hasn't been said other than our personal experiences, because obviously people have been seeing in the news, like, all of the backlash, all of the, you know, drama, whatever.
Okay. It is what it is.
It is.
This is a game that was not ready to hit market yet. Mm-hmm. It was probably at a stable enough
to be tested.
Yeah. I think, well, that was a problem, though, because I think it was being tested at the time.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ahead before.
Yeah, because people were like reviewing it and like singing its praises and everything.
But the problem was that I guess the only copies they were handing out was apparently either PC or the latest PS5 or Xbox Series X.
Oh, so not the
not
previous
not PS4 or Xbox One.
Previous consoles.
Because that's where it really, like, the performance was just
janky,
unplayable. It was unplayable. Like, I've heard some stories where people had it on PS4 and Xbox One and said that they had no issues, or they had as much issues with the game as people who were playing on PS5 or Xbox Series X. Which, to me personally, I played it on the PS5.
Same.
So, it still had issues.
Yeah.
But the issues that we mostly experienced was possibly like the whole anytime involving with a car or something like that, or driving from one area to the next area, the game will crash.
Oh, yeah. So there was a constant crashes. I would say that we would have to save
every half hour to an hour.
Yeah, half hour to an hour and everything like that. I mean, obviously it would auto save as well, which was nice. But just to kind of keep it from crashing quite as frequently.
Like, I could get to a point where I could predict where it was going to get close to time where
it's going to experience a crash. And then also, like, in game, when you're driving along and everything like that, when cars just, like, randomly spawn.
Yeah.
And just go flying around, like, just.
But even then, that's like Skyrim days or Fallout, kind of like Bethesda games, or like, that's funny.
It's so funny.
It'd be cool to capture a video of that and make fun of that, poke fun of that.
Oh my
gosh. That crazy moment that should never happen.
The memes. I don't think we really ever had texture issues.
No, there would be times where
some, like, not
was going between certain areas, or like, again, when the action was getting high tense, where I will find times where like textures will sometimes drop, but it would be mere seconds before it would pick back up again. Yeah, the texture will be loaded back in, and even then.
But I mean, like missing faces and things like that.
No,
like,
I think that was all Xbox One's PS4 experience. Yeah,
like,
I've
never
seen that.
experienced any of that. What else?
But here's the issue with it. They knew. Or if they didn't know, they were supposed to know. This thing was supposed to be tested and ready. This game was meant for, or initially intended for, PS4 and Xbox One. And I think that's what brought people in such outrage about it, because it's like, when this game was announced and stuff like that, there wasn't no PS5 or no Xbox Series X. They weren't even announced yet.
Yeah.
It was basically around the time where they're like, okay, cool, we're getting close to being able to announce a date where, okay, PS5 and Xbox Series X. And I'm pretty sure from, investors and, up top decision was, oh, snap.
We need to get this ready.
We need to get this ready for that system. Which, and the other problem too is, I imagine a lot of these games are built using PCs. Nobody uses a PlayStation 5 or a PlayStation 4 to build a game. I'm sure it's possible now with certain things like Unity and stuff like that, but nobody like a AAA title like this does that without using a PC. So,
sure.
And even though I've heard people using the PC too have issues with that, but issue with that may vary between somebody that has the bare minimum requirements to, I got the latest ATI Radeon graphic card with the best process,
Yeah.
Somebody that's got a $2,000 or more rig to somebody that probably underneath 1,000, maybe even underneath 700. You're going to experience a difference. There's going to be a difference there.
Well, I mean, I don't know if we want to get too deep into it. Unless we just want to do like a separate video like on Cyberpunk of like all the things
maybe we will down the line, because I mean,
things that we like, things that we
this was a game that I would love to have done a review on, but now since there's so many reviews have came out and so many people have just drugged this game through the mud and stuff like that or whatever, I feel like it's
just muddied the waters.
It's unnecessary at this point.
Sure.
Because me personally, I enjoyed the game.
Me too.
I see the love and effort they put into the game.
Yep.
It's
the music.
Yeah, it's still beyond the music. Even then too, it's like there's a lot of good character work. There's a lot of good world building in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
there's a lot of really good ideas.
A lot of really good ideas.
Really good ideas.
My only thing comes down to it is that in the end, it always comes down to a time crunch. They try to do so much. And I won't say a little amount of time, but for what they were able to accomplish, if they would have had another year or two to polish this thing, it probably would have at least came out with not as many problems,
living up to the hype a little bit,
and
more.
It would have been praised.
Yeah.
And I still feel like with given the time, they can get there. But by the time that happens now, with everybody just dumpster firing on it, you know. Everybody's just gonna go, you know, when this becomes this perfect game, they're gonna go, okay.
Well, I know there are some people, probably myself included, who hope that, like, kind of hoping that it might have a No Man's Sky sort of like redemption.
I'll put it to you this way then. This could have been a Game of the Year contender.
Yes.
Like, basically, it got released last year, 2020. Which I thought it would have been up there.
Yeah.
And, you know, probably with as little time as it had been and whatever and stuff like that, it probably would not have been considered because of that.
Sure.
You know, but definitely with all the backlash and everything, it definitely wasn't going to be considered for that.
Yeah.
And now, I think going forward, it's still not going to be in contention because either between another great game that has or will come out this year will overshine any progress they may make with this game because it's still going to have people dealing with, well, when this game released, it wasn't up to par.
Sure.
And again, that's similar to No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Nobody went back and said, oh, this is a game of the year now.
Sure.
You know, nobody's re-reviewing No Man's Sky now that it has all these improvements.
Well, no, people have.
Well, I mean, but because now it's a totally different game because it's now had additions. I think they reviewed it because of the additions. It's a totally different game now. As far I think the name is even changed now because they've upgraded. No
Man's Sky?
Yeah.
Really?
I think it's No Man's Sky, some other little addition thing.
Okay.
Which
gotcha.
You know, you've seen them do that with tons of games.
Wolfenstein. Sure, rebranding.
I'm the daughters of the dude who got his head chopped off.
For sure.
Youngbloods, that's what it's called.
Okay.
I blanked on the name of it. It's like Wolfenstein, and blanked on the name.
That's funny.
But yeah, and then I guess a different review. Yeah, I think there's going to be probably a part 2 to this video. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to be coming back with the other half, probably a little bit later. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for watching again.
And welcome back.
Welcome back.
I mean,
welcome to 2021. Woo! Boop. Well, I'm Gamer Lynn.
I'm Gamer Becka.
And we want you to keep it
100. See you later.